Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. Sure, I've been wanting to record this video for the longest time, and I'm happy that I have the time now. I hope I have the time. The two girls are taking a nap. I know it won't be long because it's already late in the afternoon, so I will try my best to just summarize this. I feel the need to make this video, to share this, first of all to raise awareness, and then to encourage somebody and just to bring hope. So January 2024 was one of the worst times in my life. I was at a very dark place. I did not see a way that I will get better. It felt like I will not get better. I will not get out of this. And here I am, February 2025, feeling better, knowing that I'm better, and sitting here being able to talk about this and to actually bring hope, and most importantly really to bring awareness, because we tend to be ignorant when it comes to mental health, when it comes to anxiety, when it comes to depression. While it is certainly real and plays a great role, negative role in our lives and in our destiny. So I was January 2024 last year, I was diagnosed with postpartum. I was diagnosed and treated for postpartum depression. So I gave birth to my second baby girl December, and yeah, from there on things just went down, and I just found myself waking up one morning having negative feelings towards my baby girl, and then I realized like something is not right. I'm not okay. This is not it. It is there when I realized that I must reach out for help. So what I'm sharing is not I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a practitioner, I'm not a medical practitioner, I did not do any research. I'm really just sharing from what I have experienced, and this is specifically postpartum depression. Like after giving birth, then you tend there's women that tend to fall into a dip. So unfortunately that happened to me. Fortunately, the grace of God was sufficient, and I'm at a much more better place, and I was able to get out of that dip. I feel like we did not prepare well for the birth and postpartum of our second pregnancy. I feel like that, and also there was quite differences with the first delivery and the first pregnancy. So because of how the first pregnancy went, we were a bit chilled, and we felt like we got this and we will be okay. And so first of all, we did not reach out for help, and we did not have the necessary help during pregnancy, during delivery, and after delivery. It was just me and my husband most of the time. Yeah, so that's already your first tip, or your first piece of advice: to ask for help, to reach out, to don't do these things alone, and don't go through this journey of life alone. God has made us for one another. Okay, so to take it a bit back, with the weekend of the 10th of December, we had our commissioning service. So we were quite overwhelmed with excitement, and it was a great weekend. So the Monday after that weekend, I felt sick. So I just felt sick, and I just felt like I'm not okay. So that night we went in um, to the emergency room at the hospital, and they immediately put me on oxygen, and baby's heartbeat was not okay. It was very high, and I had my fever. What? Yeah, my fever, my temperature was high. So I feel like that's where it actually started, that Monday evening. So I was in the hospital for the Monday, the Tuesday, and then the baby's heartbeat was stable, or it dropped. It was okay, so they discharged me. But in myself, I was still not okay. I felt like I'm not certain. I don't feel secure with this heartbeat. So I went to the private doctor, and the private doctor felt like the heartbeat is not stable enough, and recommended that we go to Kidman's as soon as possible and get a C-section. Okay, and I also felt like, yes, baby must just get out. In my body, I still feel weak, I still feel sick, and I'm not certain about this, the heartbeat. And so we traveled the same day, and she was like persisting that we should go. So we traveled, we saw the doctor that side. Doctor also recommended for an emergency C-section as soon as possible. For me, that was the first trauma within this delivery. So we did not prepare for a C-section. We did not really know what to expect, and the first thing when we arrived at the hospital, now we saw him the Wednesday afternoon, and he booked us for the Thursday midday around 12. So when we arrived there, the first thing was like, I was not supposed to be with my husband. So I was just now there all by myself, and they were prepping me, but I feel like I was not prepared. Ek is nie meer gepraat of in hierdie ding ingepraat of gesê dit sal so wees, and you will experience this, you will experience pain. The only thing the doctor did the previous day was now to give me the options of what is it, an anesthesia or a epidural. I think soos om 'n narkose gesny te word, of om net lam hier gemaak te word, maar ek is nog wakker. So I opted to not be awake, because I did not know, I was not prepared for this, I was not ready, so I did not want to know what's happening. I did not know that after that I will be in so much pain. Okay, so but we did it. Baby was successfully removed, and upon waking up, I was in a lot of pain. And then the doctor told me that the umbilical cord was around her neck, so it was the best decision to rush for the emergency C-section. Yeah, so for me, looking back at it now, it was just unexpected trauma, and there was no space or time to actually deal with it, because now baby is here and life must go on. Okay, then we traveled back, and it was just me, my husband, Jemima Kesia, and then the auntie that used to take care of Jemima, but she did not stay in, so she will come at 8, go back at 5. So I started to feel the pressure, and one of the first things that I experienced after the birth and when we arrived back home was fear. I don't know why, but I was so afraid. I would even tell my husband that I'm afraid of the future, because it was now towards the end of the year. So we are now talking about next year, January, planning and all that. And all I could say is, I'm afraid. So I could feel something unsettled within me. And that is where the anxiety became, and that is where I started to not switch off, to not sleep at all, because I'm afraid, I'm anxious. I'm like, enige klop wat ek hoor, dis net ene as babatjie huil, dis net, I'm not switching off. I'm not sleeping properly at night. Even when Casey was sleeping, I would not sleep. Or I don't know whether I would sleep, but when we are awake, I would feel like I did not sleep. And then she was wat is sy nou se naam? Jaundice. Ja, maar toe kry sy geelsig. So we had to, okay, no, before that, it was now Christmas, my sister then came, so I was distracted, but for me it was just a relief to be able to give Kesia to other people, and to just be among the people, lay around, sit around, what. So they were here for a week, so we had family time for a week. So we used to come this side or to our family house most of the time, and that was good. And then when they went back, it was not just us again, and then toe gaan lê ons nou onder die lig van sy nog heel sag. And I started, even then I couldn't sleep because I'm worried she's under this light, she's in this thing, will she be okay? So I couldn't switch off, and I started to feel like, but this, honestly I started to feel like this baby is putting me through the most. This baby is putting us through the most. I'm not okay. I'm not used to this, and there's just this overwhelming fear. Okay, but then we were discharged again, I think after 2 days, and things were okay. Still did not get to switch off, did not get to sleep, but for me it was just like, no, I will get through this, I will be okay. It's just the fear of the next year. I was like telling myself this, it's just the fear of how 2024 will look like. So this is normal, and we would pray and face every day and just continue. And then somewhere in January, I woke up one morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, feeling numb on the side, and my face was pulling the side. Ooh, it was scary. It was like, no, what is happening? What is going on? So I woke up my husband, I told him, and we prayed, and it went away for a bit, and then after like 10 to 15 minutes it will be this side again, and then pulling this side, and it went on like this until like we decided to go to the hospital. I think it was 9 or 10 the Sunday morning. So we took the babies and we went, and so they took my blood pressure, but the doctor was just like, no, everything is fine. Everything is really just fine. Or there's not something that they can trace, or that they can say this is now a stroke, or this is now what. And so I had a moment there in the emergency room, where, so then my sister then came, and the auntie also came. So they took the babies, they took Kesia from me, and also Jemima. So I had some time for myself, and I felt, I don't know, I felt relief. So I actually had a moment to sleep, and to be like, okay, I'm getting better. And then it went away. It went away, and I rested. I felt like my body rested that time. And then we went back home. The Monday I went to see the doctor, and she diagnosed me with she said that was an anxiety attack. She said it was not only the one side, so it cannot be a sign of a stroke. And she explained everything. She asked the needed questions, and then she diagnosed. She said that was an anxiety attack. And she started to ask more questions. Am I not okay? What's going on? And I could place that I have anxiety. I'm afraid. I have this fear, and that it's becoming more and more. It's intensifying. The fear of the future, the fear of raising now there's two girls, the fear of going back to work. Everything just feels so crowded. And she just said now she just started to treat me for not being able to sleep and switch off properly at night, and for the anxiety. Okay. And that time my sister already asked that we should come to the coast, that we should come to Valvers, because she's worried about us. We are alone, and or she just recommended that either someone must come and help us, or we should go to the coast, or even to Gibeon, but just to get the needed help so that I can get the needed rest. And I was like, no, we are okay, we will be okay. And I really thought that it is not that deep and that we will be fine. And then one morning, I think it was 6 in the morning, but I started to feel negative towards Kesia, like huge negative feelings, like I cannot sleep, I'm so afraid, I don't know how I will raise this baby. I don't like it when she's crying. I become anxious and afraid when she's crying. Why is she crying? Why can she not sleep properly? I just had these negative feelings. And then one morning I sat with her. Yeah, and I also started to feel maybe someone else should take care of her. Maybe I'm not fit, I'm not ready to raise the second baby. Yeah, I felt like that. And then I sat with her. Then I sat with her that morning, and I started to feel like I don't want her. I don't want to be with her. I don't want her to be here. I don't want her in my life. And the thought came that I can just put a blanket on her face. Yes, that's what I actually felt. And in that moment I realized that this is bad, this is becoming worse, I'm not okay. And how can I have such a feeling towards a newborn baby, towards a gift of life? So I started to panic, and I called my husband and Juma were asleep. I called my sister, and I called our church leader. I called Apostle. So he did not pick up that time, and my sister picked up, and I just started to cry and ask for help, because I don't know what's going on. How can I feel this way? I will not be able to raise this child. Just that overwhelming. I started to feel the overwhelming feeling of hopelessness, and why did I have to have an emergency C-section? Why did we have to go through this? Just a lot of big feelings and fear. And she managed to calm me down, and told me to wake up my husband so I can give him the baby, and I started to calm down. And then it's where I started to realize that I'm not at a good place, and I need help. So it continued the fact that I couldn't sleep at night. So my sister came, I think the next day. She made arrangements. She came to get us. We went to doctor, and that is when doctor said she actually already saw the pattern of depression, but she first started to treat me just for anxiety, the fact that I cannot sleep. So she just gave me something to calm me and for me to sleep. It did not; those things did not work then. And so then she put me on antidepressants, and now I started to it started that, like, after that morning, it was there, it was real. I felt hopeless. I felt like I will not be able to raise this child. I felt like I'm failing as a mother, I'm failing as a wife. And now the fact that my sister then came to get us, I felt like we are a burden. Ooh, it was horrible feelings. They were so loud, and I did not eat, and I did not even realize that I'm not eating. I'm not eating that the way I'm supposed to eat. I'm not sleeping. I'm not getting rest. So I looked terrible, and um, so we drove to the coast, and most of that road I was just crying. I was just in tears. We arrived there for 3 days. I was just crying and asking, begging the Lord for help to get me out of this, because I couldn't understand what is this, and how real this is, how real depression is, that I can actually see that where I'm at is not a good place. How I feel, my conviction about life, my conviction about the way forward is not good. I'm trying to get hope, but I feel hopeless. And one thing, my sister, them, they helped a lot. So she I think for 2 or 3 days she did not go to work, so they made sure that I'm not constantly with Kezia. Kezia did not want to take bottle, but so I had to be with her. But then they will take her, I would sleep, they made sure that I will eat, that I will take the medication. I remember I would ask my husband and my sister every single day, will I get better, will this go away? And they will assure me. And one thing that she requested me was to get up every morning and take a shower. And her words was like, do this one thing for yourself. And I started to get that mindset, like, let me shower me for me. And it helped. That moment in the shower helped. It just set a different tone for the day. So that helped. Prayer helped. The medicine helped a lot, and every day started to get better. So for me, the causes or the triggers of postpartum depression can be trauma, definitely. And when you don't deal with trauma, when you don't know how to deal with trauma, and trauma can be like an emergency C-section, trauma can be the loss of someone, trauma can be rape, trauma can be huge disappointments, it can be an accident. And then the other cause of, or other trigger of depression can be like fear, overwhelming fear, anxiety. You are not at ease, you are constantly you are just not at ease, you are anxious. So it becomes so big and so real that it's almost like the baby of anxiety. It grows into either baby of depression, it grows into depression. And then number 3 is exhaustion. If you don't get enough sleep, if you don't get to give your body the necessary rest, if you don't take care of your body as you are supposed to, you can fall into depression, you can fall into the depth of depression. And being exhausted is a reality, because with this life nowadays, we think that you must push yourself, you must get the things done. We are just chasing whatever we are chasing without being aware of the signs that our bodies are giving. So for me personally, those were the 3 causes or the 3 triggers of my postpartum depression. And the signs of it was I had an anxiety attack, where the parts of my body became numbed and they were pulling, and yeah, that was it. And also the other sign was feeling hopeless, feeling that I will not be able to do this motherhood thing, and also starting to feel negative towards my newborn baby. That is a sign of postpartum depression. Almost like one feeling a rejection towards the baby. It is a reality, it is a real sign. And don't, like, I'm not judging myself now. I'm not looking like how could I feel that way, because it is a thing that can happen. So don't deny that. If you are feeling that way, please get help. So those are the signs. And just having overwhelming fear within you, it's a sign that you are depressed, or you are dealing, or you are facing depression. How to get help? Of course, medical help. There's no shame in taking an antidepressant. There's no shame in being treated, being medically treated. It does not mean you do not believe in God. It does not mean that you don't have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. It does not mean that God does not have the power to heal you, or it doesn't mean that you do not have the necessary faith in God. It means that you can see this thing for what it is, and that the doctors that God has put in place have, by the help of God, pills, and have diagnosed you and can give you medication to help you. So medical help. And then if you are pregnant, please prepare well, get the necessary help, have the proper conversations. If you have to go home to go deliver, if your family have to come to assist you during the delivery and postpartum months, please arrange for that. And don't be ashamed or afraid to ask for help. There's no shame in asking for help. We are made to be there for one another, and I've learned it in the hard way. And I know, when you are freshly married, you and your husband want to do this thing, and you want to get through things in your way or on your own or what. But with pregnancy and with having babies, you need help. You need help. You need to be surrounded with people, and not just surrounded with people, but people that know that they need to help. They need to cook, they need to clean, they need to take baby, they need to give you the necessary space. Get help, and get out of it. Find ways to get out of it, whatever it takes. Whether it's reading, whether it's listening to music, whether it's just to get up and get into that shower, whether it's to take a walk, to give the baby to whoever is helping you, and take a walk, prayer. Just get a pattern that will get you out of it. Yeah, what else? And then I realized that you can be delivered and you can be better, but then the pattern will still be somewhere there, or then it can come back again. So just recently my mother-in-law asked me, what am I doing so that I don't fall into that tub again? Now, she was also very much traumatized, because on our way to the coast we stopped in Gibeon, and to show her the baby, and she told me like, my child, you look bad. Sy het gesê my kind, jy lyk jou goed nie. Jy lyk jou goed nie, wat is dit? En yeah, so she was much traumatized even up until this stage. Like she will ask, what are you doing, so that you don't fall into that tub again. I don't want to see you like that again. And that is the awareness I love, like that we don't hide these things, and that we don't see it as because there's traditions that don't look into mental health, that don't acknowledge mental health. But I'm so grateful that my family members, they are aware, my corner, my support system, they are aware, and we can name this and we can talk about it, and together we can deal with it. So I've just recently I've realized that exhaustion is trying to creep in, because it's back at work, it's a new year, it's, you know, we are just on the run, on the double. So what's currently helping is that the girls have sort of a night routine, so that helps. They go to bed a certain time and I get to sleep, and in that my husband helps a lot. So he does not go to bed that early. So so when we put the girls to sleep, I can go sleep. So getting that sleep during the night, it helps. I can go on through the day up until 7. From 7 I can feel the exhaustion, and I can feel that hopelessness is coming. But then I know, no, we will pray now, and then we will put the girls to sleep, and then I will be okay. That is what I'm currently doing. I'm also reading a book. I've also been walking, but for 2 weeks now I haven't done that, but it also helped me a lot. I get to spend time on my own, I get to spend time with the Lord. So yeah, I'm looking at signs of this looks like a sign, and what can I do so that it do not become big again. I hope this video has helped someone. Ek voel ek het bietjie baie vinnig seker gepraat en op my senuwees geraak, van dit was nogal moeilik en dit was mos nogal heel persoonlik, maar I felt like sharing this to just bring hope. And if you are struggling, or if you are in that depth now, just know that that situation is not your final destination. Look at me. I wish I took photos and things so that you can just see. I was in a bad space. It was really dark, and I felt like if I had the opportunity to be alone, I would just commit suicide. That's how deep and bad it was. So I'm so grateful for God. He is faithful. I'm so grateful for a support system. I'm so grateful that my sister knew that she should just get in the car and come get us. We needed that. We needed to get away. We needed the help. Even my husband, he was not at a good space. It was hard for him to see me like that. It was hard for him to see me go into the operating room. And I remember he told me that there was just that smell when I came out, and I was just in so much pain, and it was really hard for him. So it was a difficult time in our life, and I'm so grateful for help. I'm so grateful for prayers. I'm so grateful for God. And yes, depression is real. It is a reality. It can go to extent where you can lose your life, where you can commit suicide, where you cannot come out of it. So please do come out of it. Please do reach out. Please do ask for help. Do not go through this alone. If you see the signs, if you see the triggers, if you see the symptoms, ask for help. If you are currently sitting with your babies alone at home, ask for help. Ask for help. Ask for help. There's no way that you can do this alone, and you do not have to do this alone. I hope this message brings hope, it brings encouragement, and most importantly, it brings awareness. Do not ignore people that go through these things. Sometimes we are so ignorant, we are so negative, and we feel like this person is just exaggerating. The person is going through a hard time, and if you have the means to help the person, do it for the glory of the Lord. Be blessed.